I just came in from having watched all of your lore videos. They're really good. Ah, I'm glad you liked them. Yes, I love them. I'm very proud of them. I'm especially proud of the fourth chapter. I think that whole chapter I really hit my editing stride. I think it did. I did a really good job. I think. I know it sounds vain, but like, I have to be proud of myself. Cause like, it's not gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna get like thousands of views on them. So I have to be proud of myself and confident that I put out good work. Since it's not gonna be like reaffirmed by like massive amounts of views or whatever. So I just have to feel confident in myself, and I feel pretty proud and happy with what I did.
The last one was the best you've edited too.
I think so too. I think I did a lot of fun tricks with that one. So like, there's no effect to just do an echo. So I have to stack audio files to create that echo effect when I was giving the speech. That whole speech in general, like the voiceover, like obviously I don't have an animation of giving a speech, so I had to figure out something else. So I just got creative with it. I think I did a really, and the callback to the chapter 1 finale with the Les Mis. Oh my god, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time putting that together, the finale.
Are there going to be more characters in future ones?
I want to try. I don't know about voiced characters. I like to go on VGen and click around like adoptable characters, like something like a character someone drew and then threw it up. Like you can buy it and like own the character. I found one or two that are cute. That I thought to that I might get to like represent like a friend, but it's not like a full model. It's just like an illustration. I could get like a customizable VTuber model and make a friend and have like someone voice it or something. But I don't know. So I have to see. I do think it would be fun to add more characters or make a more like a series in that sense, you know. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
For a moment, I've forgotten that not everybody is a candy person.
Yeah, no, just people in the Candy Mountains. So like the region that someone lives in does kind of like impact their type of mutation. Because if you recall, everyone's some kind of hybrid from mutations. So like the mushroom forest people, they're more like woodsy based, like elves, or like they have like mushroom heads, some of them, like that kind of thing. Delilah would have been a from the mushroom forest. I'd say so.
Is there like
either from the mushroom forest or she'd be one of like the like one of like the remote like scattershot villages across the desert, like kind of like Gerudo style, but like I think I picture her more as a forest dweller. How much of the overarching narrative did you have in mind when starting the series? So as far as the overarching narrative goes, that was laid out entirely before the series started. I have a 4-page storyboard where the whole plotline was laid out. A few last minute changes would take place every so often, or like the storyboard it'd be laid out, but then like I had changed something in, let's say, like chapter 1 part 3 that would impact chapter 2 part 2 or whatever. So I'd have to like change it up a little bit from the storyboard. One really big instance of this that it was in the storyboard, and it really took up until the very last minute before I decided not to do this. I thought about, because you can even see it foreshadowed in the penultimate episode before I decided to just nix it. I thought about in the next series, the next series that I'm gonna do, I thought about doing a sort of like my mom's gone missing type storyline and have like, we thought the battle was successful, but then when we got back to the base, my mom was missing kind of thing. I just didn't want to get into it in the next story, and it wasn't worth it. I could have just keep like, my mom's here, my mom's gone, my mom's here, my mom's gone. I didn't want to do that, so I nixed it last minute. But that was in the storyboard, like all the way up until like the very like end, and before I was like, I just can't do it. What are some things you would have liked to change or retcon? I would like to change the editing at the start. I would like to like change that. But that's like a back end thing. As far as like the story itself, I think I would have liked to have done more world building. I think the whole story is pretty split into two sections. You have up until but not including the chapter 2 finale, where it's almost like a slice of life. I'm going to school. There's rebel stuff. You're learning a lot about the world. We're learning a lot about Axolaris. There's a lot of exposition. And then it kind of slowly shifts into slice of life, school life or whatever. And then it kicks more into the Civil War. Like, for the first half of the story, you could almost forget the rebels were even there. So I think I would have liked to have brought back some more of that world building. There's stuff like where I'd mentioned like gritty ammonia and like I'd mentioned a new location, but generally after a certain point, it became more just like, this is the actions that happened while you were gone. And I think I would have liked to have done a little bit more like world building stuff, but I think it just kind of becomes hard to like both write and listen to. It's kind of hard to just listen to like this. Like, it slows the story. It slows the pace. I think I would have also liked to maybe have Delilah live for one more episode if I had it thought out clearer. But the issue is, I just really did not have the time to explore a romance. It was originally just supposed to be a little nod. Like a little, just like additional loss, like I lost a partner kind of thing. But that's why I want to explore it more in like a side series. But I kind of wish I could have explored it a little more. I wish I had a little more time to have explored it in the core series, so that it wasn't so like, why is she so dramatic that Delilah died? Like it's like because you met her in episode. Chapter 4, part 1, and then she died in part 2, so it's like, oh, but yeah, so I think I would have liked to have talked a little bit more about my relationship with Delilah in the core series. That's probably my biggest, I don't know if regret's the right word, but I feel like that's probably the biggest, like, plot hole kind of thing. Like, why does she care so much about this, like, character that just kind of showed up a little bit and now gets mentioned? What was my absolute favorite part to act right? Favorite to write. Might, it might have been the finale. Because that was the longest one, so that was the most, like, in-depth writing that I got to do. I also really liked Chapter 3, Part 2, which is, like, the big twist that, like, I was actually a propaganda, plant. I really did like that one a lot. That was fun to write. Because that was, like, the first, like, big, whoa moment in the story. Like, everything, well, I guess no, the first one would be arresting my mom.
That one went hard.
That was a good scene as well. And I did like writing that, because I liked the kind of character thing I did where, like, kind of how I did the thing where, like, it got too overwhelming to talk about emotionally, so I had to revert to, like, reading off minutes. Like, it goes at, like, at whatever 100 hours, characters. We entered the room to whatever. Like, it was very, like, I don't want to say clinical because it's not like a doctor thing, but like, it was very professional as opposed to like talking about how I felt about it. I thought that was fun to do, like that kind of like switch up. As far as act, the chapter 3 finale was really fun to do. That one I ended up like deviating from the script a fair bit because I was focusing a lot more on the emotions for that one. So I had like the script in front of me, and then we just kind of like just keep getting worked up and just like kind of add to like the mad ramblings. I just kind of let myself get worked up more and more and more, and just kind of like veer off the script and stuff. I think I edited it so it doesn't come up off like that, or like it comes off like it is all scripted. But that was fun to do. I think anything where the episode swings from positive to emotional was really fun to do. So like the finale was like very like, hooray, hooray, and then it was like, oh my god, I'm going crazy! Like I think with like that kind of like twinge to it, I really liked it. Like, I like to do it like a kind of a crazier character.
I was thinking about when I saw the penultimate episode was I like that it was lighter in tone because the episodes before it were darker. And like lighter isn't better than darker by any means, but like having that up tone after all those like darker moments was really nice.
That also happens in the 3rd episode when I get reunited with my parents. Cause you have to have, cause I know this story does get dark, and it's like how much are you gonna beat up on your character? But it's like, I think darker stories are more compelling to explore. They're more fun to write than like a comedy.
As long as there's ups and downs, because
yeah, you have to give wins.
You can do for a story is have like one tone.
You can't not have any wins. So like, yeah. I needed to have like breaking my mom out of prison, reuniting with my dad. But then you have like losing Delilah, the kidnappings, the assassinations. Like it's the 4th chapter is really a lot of up and down, and it's a lot of bullying, I guess, to the character. But also, I needed to do a lot of that bullying for the next story arc to like really have more impact. So there's that.
Delilah.
It's like really, it's kind of like 2 sides of a complete story. So like
there was a moment I thought your dad was gonna betray you.
I saw people in chat saying they thought that was gonna happen, and I'm gonna be honest, I did look at the storyboard to see if I could write it, but I just didn't like it. It would have been like too like it would have been too like retconned. It wouldn't have been my story. Like it would have been like I did it just because I thought it was a good idea from what chat said. But like I also like I needed to have like that win. If I had like fighting the dad, or the dad was actually like going to be working for the council, like it just would have been another like injury against the character. And at a certain point you need to balance it a tiny bit, like because the next arc is exploring like the recovery from this, so it is like a complete story. Like if you just watch the War for Axolaris, it's a lot sadder, and the next one's probably gonna be sad too, but it ends on, it's like well, actually, I don't know how it ends. I didn't write it yet. I don't have any kind of storyboard for it.
Classy.
But like it's fun. I have fun with it. And yeah. Not as sour, but like it's trauma recovery, so it's gonna be compelling. It's gonna be uplifting because it's recovery. It's still gonna be like dissecting some. Thank you for the posture check. How'd you know? Oh, my microphone. Alright, let me get to the next question. Favorite character outside of Lollipop? Oh. The tough thing with this is that there really are not many other characters. I like my mom insofar as that she's probably the most fleshed out comparatively. And she was, I kind of wish I did more with her. That's another one I think I wish I did more of if I had more time, is like fleshing out my mom. Because like we rescued her in part 1 of chapter 4, and then she really didn't come back much after that. So I kind of wish I would have explored that more, especially after part 4. But again, I just really didn't have the time if I didn't want to make chapter 4 like 1,000 parts. Like, at a certain point you have to reel it in and just stick to the main story. So it gets hard kind of making those kind of cuts around. But the next story is definitely gonna have more characters. Whether that be just mentioned, like offhandedly mentioned characters, or specifically like voice characters, I don't know. But I do want to have more like fleshed out characters in the next one. I remember like back in the day when your streams first got interrupted, there is a character from the capital. Oh my god, I have that in a folder. Hang on. What was her name?
Checking the lore channel.
I have a folder for lore relevant stuff that I'm just trying to find. I know I have a screenshot of it in there. I actually almost put it in one of the teasers. Hazel Vendesha. What's her name?
I think, yeah.
From the Axolaris Department of Internal Investigation.
That's it.
So, yeah, that was one of the things. So, before the story even started, I was doing teasing stuff on my streams where I have a scene where if I said something that was against the council's wishes, pre-war or whatever, since I gave the permission to stream in the first place. Oh, there goes my microphone. I do something like this, and I'd act like the feed was cut. I also have in here. It's in here this whole time. I've never taken it out. The static that I could overput. That if I was saying something that like towed the line of being problematic to make it look like the feed was a little wonky. So I have some fun tricks that I did. But of course, once the war started, those stopped being as relevant.
I found it. It was back on January 24th.
Yeah, I think I got the email the 23rd, or the email references something happening on the 23rd.
Yeah, it was like the 23rd or 24th, and then I think that was the excuse for like taking away some of the not safe for work redeems on the channel.
You know what? That was it. Yes, because I was pretty rancid, for lack of a better explanation.
Yeah,
so I kind of dialed it back. I stopped being as like aggressively out there, and started getting more Twitch appropriate. So I put out an email so that it was like I got an email from like the government that was like, "You gotta chill, girl, or we're gonna take your license to stream."
Yeah, basically the lore reason for being more Twitch compliant.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real clever way to do it.
That was fun. I remember being in the mod chat being like, how do we work this? Did you enjoy making the series? Oh, I had a ton of fun. I had it planned since basically the start of my VTubing. In one form or another. I don't think I made the storyboard until like March, but like the whole thing was in my brain for a while. Now is where I'll pull up this one piece of art real quick. So way back when, before I even started VTubing, I had seen this. It's a meme format, but I saw it and something about it, I don't know. It kind of gripped me. Like, you have girl who commits war crimes this is the photo of her doing the war crimes, but there she is, present day, soft, not like that anymore. What happened there? What's that story? What is the story there where you get from war criminal to soft and compassionate? And I thought that would be a very, very, very compelling narrative to write and explore. So that's kind of why I went in the direction I did. Obviously, I've broadened, I've whatever. But that was kind of the inspiration for the story, that artwork. For lack of like a better inspiration, like if you're looking for like something that inspired it, it would be that artwork. Because I thought it's just like, what would that character be like? One who was like,
because even I've recognized that one. Because
it's a meme format. So like it made me very contemplative.
Honestly, like, I feel like calling it a meme format sells it short, because I mean, I think that's just good art in general. Even if it's in an anime style, it's like
it is good. It makes you think.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what inspired it. I'd love to get this done with art of my character. Like in the photograph, it's the 2.0 model, but then it's the 3.0 model, like petting a duck or something. Like in the IRL part. I think that would be cool. But yeah, like I'm very glad that is the story I decided to tell. I think it was a very fun direction to take things. Lots of ups and downs, but generally I think it was a good time. Alright, next question. Is there any specific type of character you want to add to this series? I don't think I have like a specific type of character. I try to keep it open-minded, since the whole lore of the planet is that it's just like person species hybrids. So like it could be like, there's clown people, there could be like like puppy people, cat people, bird people, fish people, elf people, fairy people, all that. Like, so I don't know if I have like a specific. I'd like to maybe do like a mushroom character. Not like full mushroom, like anthropomorphic, but like a cute little girl that has like a red mushroom cap hat kind of thing, kind of style. I think that'd be cute. The council ended up being cowards with no fight in them, but do you think one of the future arcs is going to have a more active antagonist? It's a very, very good question. I know for the next arc, the general theme is going to be like man versus self, so there's not going to be a greater villain. That one. However, okay, I'll tease this. There is an idea kicking around my mind where, since I blacked out and don't remember throwing all the council members out the window, one of them actually got away and secretly is building like a counter rebel alliance or whatever. Of people that were still loyal to the Axolarian government. I don't know if I want to do that, because I don't know if I want to do 2 war stories out of like 3. Like 2 out of 3 seems like a lot of war stories, and I'm like, just give the planet a break. That might be something that gets seen eventually, or it might be like maybe not a full story, but it might come up that like it's theoried that like one of the council members survived or something. So I don't know, but that's it's something that might happen. A little teaser there for you. If it ever comes up, this has been an old idea that I've been kicking around. Could lead to a different kind of conflict than a war too. Yeah, true. Yeah. It would be fun. I think it's too soon to do another intense political war type thing. I want to get through arc 2 and see how long that's going to go for before I start making decisions about another potential violent arc. But yeah, maybe a big baddie at some point. Maybe like an extraterrestrial one, like an invasion on the planet. That could be interesting too. Cause at least as it is right now, there is a general sense of unity around the planet. That's kind of like the feelings coming off of the war. It's a general sense of unity behind the fact that there's no longer the council. The roadblocks are coming down, the house sweeps are done. Like, that kind of sentiment is like building support around me and making it so it's like one unified planet for once. To give you an idea of where things get left off on Axolaris before the next series. I do have some other ideas. I'm not going to say them yet. But I do have some other ideas for how the next arc's going to pick up. Do you have, or are you thinking of making a map of Axolaris, or at least the part explored during your journeys? Well, it's very funny you mention that. It's actually in my Discord. I'll pull it up real quick for stream, but I do have one. It's very crudely done, but I do have a map. This is a very crudely drawn version of my planet. So you have Shingaran as a central capital, and then the Candy Mountains in the northeast, the desert in the southeast, and then just going westward, you get the mushroom forest into the tundra. The area surrounding Shingaran is kind of like a desert. It's kind of like just like barren. It's not very inhabitable. But that is where the military school is. That's where Gratiamonia is. I used to live sandwiched between the mountains back here. Zynthian, which was mentioned at the start, is down here. Blossoming Mount is gonna come up in the next series. Yeah. So that's a rough look of what the planet looks like.
Where were the home sweeps?
Huh?
Where did the home sweeps take place?
That was planet-wide. That was planet-wide. Were you and Delilah romantically involved? Also, who was Delilah before the rebellion? So to the first question, yes, it is something that was kind of hinted about throughout. Like, I don't think I ever fully owned up to it in the story, but yeah, we were. It was like a romance, and we'll get explored if I ever do the side stories like next month at all. As for the second part, who is alive before the rebellion, that would be something that gets explored in the side series. I really wish I had a better answer for you, but I really don't. I don't have much of her backstory laid out yet.
In other words, stay tuned.
Yeah, if you're curious about me and Delilah, eventually I'm gonna put out video diary side stories that are gonna be like, they're gonna have like the VHS filter. It's gonna be like found footage type style. Like, here's a cassette tape from when I was roaming the planet or something. I am kind of like debating if I want to do a remaster of it eventually with like better editing, better acting. It'd be a massive undertaking. This was like a 4 or 5 month project. I've been putting these out since April. Like, I took a week or two off here and there, but, like, generally this has been, like, pretty consistent since April. It'd be tough to put them all back out again. It'd really just be how much did I hate the editing of the first few and want to remaster them. And if I did a remaster, I'd be shoving in, like, animations of like, pinnacle events.
It could be something to say for an anniversary project.
Yeah, like maybe like a year or two anniversary, because like the next arc's gonna go into the next year. Like, I mean, like right away. Like that's how the year ends, is the second arc. And I don't know if I just want to go War for Axolaris into Lollipop Rebirth into War for Axolaris Remastered. Like, I want to kind of tell more before I go back and, like, remaster other stuff.
Yeah, so save it for, like, year 2 or 3 anniversary.
However, that is kind of why I want it to, like, a novelization to kind of tell it more in depth, maybe, too. It just didn't seem like there was as much interest for it. And to be honest, it would be a big project that if there's not, like, super amounts of interest, and I even was kind of like, I need to see the interest for me to grow my interest in it. Like, I want to be able to flesh out some stuff that was, like, hinted about, like, assaults or whatever, but, because, like, you can only talk about that stuff so much, like, on YouTube or whatever, so I don't know, it's tough, but I had fun with it. I think if I ever do a novelization, it would be, like, more like a short story. It'd be, like, I might skip out some parts, but, like, focus more in depth on other key parts. I am thinking maybe I'll release, because a couple of the videos, have audio that was removed by the government. I might release versions of those where the audio was not cut out. For anyone curious, the one, I think it's Chapter 1, Part 3, when audio was cut, it was me saying how the only people you really see on the streets are Axolarian soldiers, but it feels like they're watching you and it's creepy. And I removed that part. You know, no one knows this. They just see it's removed. But I removed it because I was being watched. Because I was the propaganda tool, so they were watching me. So me saying that was bad. So I removed it. And no one knows what was there. This is the first time I'm saying it, I think. But that's what got removed. And then I think the next time it happened, I was trashing the barracks. And you can tell that's what happened because, like, immediately after the audio is cut comes back in, I'm like, oh, sorry, I mean the great spots where I live. I think those are the only 2 instances where the audio was cut out. I could be wrong, though. I could be missing one.
I think there was another one early on, but I can't remember what.
As far as I know, that's what was cut out. It was anything that would have been, like, sensitive about the army or the council or things I shouldn't have known or whatever.